say, well, why am I doing that anyway? You know? And so she's assisting us with reaching our goals and our mission in life, and I really respect that about her. She's very unique. I think she's also cutting edge, and it's just an honor and a pleasure to have her here. I want to thank Brother Nima and his group that decided to, and I don't remember how, I think you bought her book here initially, and then we started talking about we love it, and the next thing you know, he was putting his money where his mouth is. He's like, okay, I'll make this happen. And here we are. We're happy to give you kind of an appetizer today, and then hopefully you'll be stimulated to sign up and join her tomorrow for more and more and more. At IIT, we have more flyers if you need copies to get to the destination for tomorrow. Okay, so now, our formal introduction. Sonia Barrett, publisher, holistic consultant, and author of a number of articles on reality as a virtual game, a programmed matrix, among many other subjects. She's also the publisher of New Corporate Body magazine, a publication stirring holistic and environmental consciousness in corporate thinking. She expresses that we are all creators, artists, and/or artists expressing the unfolding of our lives on the holographic canvas of the void. Heavy, you know what I'm saying? Please put your hands together for Sister Sonia Barrett.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Thank you so much for being here. Lots of bright faces, and I'm coming directly from the airport. So it's one of those things where the plane is 2 hours late, so we're a couple hours behind. But anyway, that's fine. I'm here. And some of what was read on the back of the book has changed. Let me say first off, the magazine is now called Sovereign Mind Magazine, and my radio show is called Sovereign Mind Radio, sovereignmindradio.com.
Is it Sovereign?
Sovereign. That's all I'm about, is one achieving the true sense of sovereignty. So that's everything that I do and I express is coming into that space. And I'm not talking about sovereignty just from the standpoint of filing papers. I'm talking about inner sovereignty because that's where it starts. Everything else just becomes another matrix, in all honesty. Anyway, that's a whole other show, as we would say. So I'm sitting back there and I'm going, okay, what am I going to talk about? Not because I can't talk, because I can talk for hours. But in the sense of getting off the plane and just trying to get my mind together. Well, I do hope to see most of you there tomorrow, because what I talk about, yes, is extremely cutting edge. It's considered extremely cutting edge, and it's across the board. You know, what I talk about has no color lines to it, and I've definitely seen that in my acceptance into I guess areas where we normally are not seen. You know, I'm invited to these various places now, which is quite interesting. You know, I'm going to places, you know, we're going to be speaking where Deepak Chopra and all these other people speak, and of course, yeah, I'm the only face of color in these places. So it says a lot, and I can tell you some of the comments have been really interesting. In the sense of people coming to me that are not of color and really just embracing and thanking me. And one of the stories is really funny. When I spoke at Conspiracy Con, I had a gentleman who there's a lot of people very engrossed in what I was talking about, but he came up to me and he was kneeling on the ground, and he'd been talking to me back and forth. He went away and he came back. And he says to me, so it really seems like it's going to take a black woman to lead us out of slavery. So this was very funny. This was a white guy. But he was dead serious, because of the content. I've managed to take the information, the information that continues to flow from me, and express it in using simple science, using quantum physics, but from a layman perspective, from a very simple perspective, so that just about anybody can understand. And you have to realize that I had no knowledge of science in that sense. I never took a physics class in my life. Took chemistry bit and biology bit, never took physics. So it's not as if I went and I studied. It just started to unfold from me as my questioning of reality and my place in reality, in this experience that we call life. It started to unfold in that manner, and I opened myself and I allowed that unfolding to happen. And that's what I want to share with other people, with everybody else, is the realization that you have the ability to do all of these things, and that it is your birthright to be able to access deep levels of information. What I've found is that I talk about programming quite a bit, the fact that we're very programmed. I mean, that's human nature. It's all part of the design. Is everything we do is operating based on a specific set of rules and regulations. We've gotten used to it. Even when we think that we're not, we're still in a box. And so the things that I talk about are very far and wide, and they go way outside of a lot of the boundaries, or a lot of what many people have been taught and what they've studied. And I know Nima, who's been so wonderful in bringing me here, and Zinga and having me in her wonderful store. I know you would ask me, along with many other people, where have you studied? Who did you study with? Did you study metaphysics? I haven't studied anywhere. That's the whole point. I haven't studied anything. I haven't studied with anybody. I had never even taken a workshop in my life. This was something that I set out to do on my own, and just pierce, this veil, and was able to see and be in a continuous state of, I guess, download, and it's like a meditative state, but it's not meditation like you think. It's not, I'm sitting all day long and I'm just, no, I'm there. I'm living in that space where I'm always in a state of awareness. But it doesn't stop me from functioning and enjoying life and living and doing all the things that I normally like to do. I don't believe in restricting myself in that sense and cutting myself off, because what I've learned is you're just creating all these different boxes. You're fragmenting yourself, and that's how we've been taught, is to be fragmented. And in our desperation to find out who we are and more about what reality really is and what are we connected with, we find all these little segments, and we become this thing, and then we become that thing, and so we're used to becoming something. But I say no. I say just be a part of, just be the flow. And that's what I share, is moving into a space where you are the flow, and you start to learn how to trust that which comes from within you. And tomorrow, I know we talked about, talking a little bit about 2012. Those are some things I'm going to